Hi everyone, welcome back to Get a Life Collective. I'm Jolie Zubrid, licensed professional counselor, and today I want to have a conversation about self-care. Not the Instagram version of yourself or the Facebook version, the real version. And yes, before anyone asks, I'm in my workout clothes today. This is my work from home day. So as soon as I'm finished recording this, I'm headed downstairs to lift some weights for some self-care. Years ago, I probably would have changed into something a little nicer before turning on the camera. I wanted everything to look polished because that's what I thought people expected. But now I think differently and I teach differently. I'd rather show up for myself than spend another 20 minutes trying to look like I have everything together. Because in reality, I don't. I don't have everything together. So I think that's part of self-care too, is knowing that you don't have everything together, giving yourself permission to be authentic instead of feeling like everything has to be perfect. Like, have you ever noticed how much energy perfection takes? It's exhausting. But I've been there. To be honest, I think a lot of us are exhausted. Not because we're doing anything wrong. We're exhausted because we've become really good at taking care of everybody else. Think about your own life for a minute. If your child forgets something at school, you'd probably figure it out. If a friend called needing help, you'd try to make time. Your boss asked you to stay late, most of us at least consider it. We bend, we adjust, we squeeze one more thing into the calendar because we don't want to disappoint anyone. Then we look at ourselves and think, I don't even have 20 minutes to take a walk. Isn't that interesting? Somewhere along the way, we started believing everyone else's needs deserved space in our calendar before our own. I know exactly how that feels because I have lived it. There was a season in my life when I thought being involved meant I was doing something right. I volunteered for committees. I helped with booster clubs. If someone needed help, I genuinely wanted to be there. At first, it felt rewarding. I look back on it, it really was. A lot of it was. But one day I looked at my calendar and I realized my schedule didn't really belong to me anymore. It was just so much plugged in. Work had a piece of me. Volunteer commitments had another piece of me. My family needed me. My friends needed me. And none of those things were bad. In fact, some of them, many of them, were wonderful opportunities. The problem was that I never stopped to ask myself one simple question. Do I actually have the capacity for this? As a recovering people pleaser, that wasn't a question I asked very often. I thought saying yes made me a good person. What I didn't realize was that every yes was costing me something. Maybe it was my workout that day. Maybe because I said yes, I didn't have time to meal plan. I might have stayed up later and my sleep was lacking that night. Maybe it was sitting down with a cup of tea and actually relaxing for 15 minutes that I missed out on. Every commitment has a price. The question is whether we're willing to pay that with something we cannot afford to give away. I don't think people were intentionally taking advantage of me. I always use the statement, people don't take advantage of you, they take advantage of an opportunity presented to them. I think simply because I became the person who almost never said no. And so when you're dependable, people naturally depend on you. That's not the problem. The problem is forgetting that you're a person who needs care too. I hear so often in my office as a therapist, I hear, I don't have time for self-care. Well, I often show my clients they actually do. But what is self-care? What does self-care mean to you? Everybody has a different definition of what self-care is. I hear from my clients, self-care is spa days, getting a mani-pedi, taking a vacation, massages, bubble baths. Those things are wonderful, but they're not what I think of when I hear the words self-care. To me, self-care is more about maintenance. It's about creating a reproducible routine that you can do. It's brushing your teeth, but for your mental health. It's doing the ordinary things consistently enough that your mind and your body don't have to work so hard to keep it up. Eating lunch before you're starving. Meal planning to make sure you get that in. Drinking enough water. These are basic things. Getting enough sleep. Exercising doesn't have to be lifting weights or doing cardio. It could just simply mean moving your body for 10 minutes. Believe it or not, laughing is self-care. Being around friends, watching a comedy show, those are things that are actual self-care. Connecting with people you enjoy, protecting your peace by saying no once in a while. And I'll admit it, none of those things are glamorous. In fact, they're pretty ordinary, pretty boring. But ordinary habits have extraordinary effect over time. And there's actually a reason for that. I like to throw in a little research. So research consistently shows that regular activity can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression, improve sleep quality, lower stress level, make you feel stronger and taller, improving your self-esteem. It can also increase a protein called BDNF, which supports learning, memory, and the brain's ability to adapt and grow. That's one of the reasons I make lifting weights a priority for me. Not because I wake up every morning thinking, oh my God, I cannot wait to work out. Me, I'm like, how much longer can I sleep in? Do I have to get up and work out? Believe me, there are plenty of days I just don't feel it. But me getting up and just getting down to my gym, that's step one. I do it because I know how I'll feel afterwards. I feel great. The workout is temporary. The benefits stay with me for the rest of the day. Same thing is true with sleep. So one of the basic questions I ask my clients is not, have you tried deep breathing? It's more, how are you sleeping at night? What is your sleep schedule? That's very important because when you're chronically sleep deprived, your brain becomes more emotionally reactive. Little things feel bigger. Your patience gets shorter. You're more likely to feel overwhelmed. Before we convince ourselves that we're failing, it's worth asking whether we've been taking care of the basics. I've seen clients make incredible progress without changing their entire lives. One woman, she stopped skipping lunch and breakfast because she was working through it every day. She started taking 15 minutes to walk after dinner and felt invigorated. One client became more comfortable saying, I'd love to help, but I can't this time. Those don't sound like dramatic changes, but they can be. I even tell clients, take 1 minute in the shower, extra in the morning, to just breathe and pause. Set your intentions for the day. So all of these clients, within a few weeks, they were telling me they felt calmer, more patient, less overwhelmed. Their lives hadn't necessarily become easier. They simply stopped running on empty. So I want to give you a therapist tip. When life feels overwhelming, don't ask yourself, how do I fix anything and everything? The brain doesn't do well with enormous questions when it's asked. Instead, ask yourself, what's the next healthy thing I can do right now, today, tomorrow, something immediate? Notice I didn't say the biggest thing or something you could do for every part of your life. I said the next thing. That might be filling your water bottle. It could be getting up and moving around. It could be eating something with protein. Taking 5 deep breaths before your next meeting. Taking a walk around the block without a phone. Who takes their phone on a walk with them? I can say I do, but when I don't, I can be plugged into the environment more. You could text a friend. It doesn't have to be anything major. Text them the latest meme. Small choices don't seem very exciting in the moment, but repeated often enough, they quietly become your lifestyle. One question has become one of my favorites, both personally and professionally. What do I need right now? What do I need right now? Not what your boss needs, your spouse, or even your kids. What do you need at this moment? I love that question because it forces us to pause and think. You may realize you've been sitting at your desk for hours and your body is begging you to move. At a person who sits all day, I get up and sometimes my body yells at me like, you've been sitting all day, we're gonna make you hurt. You might notice you've had 3 cups of coffee and almost no water. That's not good either. So your body isn't asking for anything physical at all sometimes. Maybe it's just asking for quiet. It's asking you to put your phone down just for a little while. And here's the beautiful part. When you consistently care for yourself, everyone around you benefits. You're more patient. You communicate more effectively. You think more clearly. You have more emotional bandwidth because your nervous system isn't constantly running in survival mode. Remember, self-care is not selfish. It's one of the healthiest investments you can make in yourself and in the people you love. So stop before you click another video. I'd like to leave you with one challenge today. Don't try to change your entire life tomorrow. That's too overwhelming. And honestly, it usually just doesn't happen that fast. It's going to take consistency. Instead, ask yourself one question. What is one thing my future self would thank me for? Maybe it's going to bed 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's taking a walk after dinner. It could be drinking more water. I always have a water bottle beside me. I think I have 3 filled up at work because if I'm in the middle of the meeting, I need to fill it up. So it could be lifting weights, which exactly what I'm about to go do right now. But whatever it is, don't wait until Sunday or Monday. Don't wait until 3 days from you. Do it today. Do it tomorrow. Don't wait until life slows down, because if you're anything like me, you've probably realized it never magically does. Life keeps moving. You have to intentionally hit the pause button. We have to consider whether we're going to move through things, taking care of ourselves, or constantly putting ourselves at the bottom of the list. So I hope you choose to put yourself at the top. Not because you're more important than everyone else, because you're important too. Other people will benefit from putting yourself first. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this conversation, I'd love for you to subscribe, share it with someone who could use this reminder, and let me know in the comments what's one thing you're going to do for yourselves this week. Sometimes commenting and let other people know what that goal is helps set accountability. So set that intention. I'd love to read your answers. Until next time, I hope you get a balanced life.